Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? How is it going? Hopefully everybody can hear me. Looks like we had a little bit of error starting on Twitter, but that is a-okay. Anyway, Dan Williams here. Owner's Pride Podcast, the Details Podcast. Um, Going solo today. Mr. Damon Gray is having his grandchild today, so it's just me in here. But I've got some really cool ideas kind of lined up for this show, and what I want to do is I want to touch on a few things during this live today. One of them, I want to talk about the training class that we've just started. We're going to have this as a quarterly training class here in San Diego, California. And it's at Dustin Wharton's shop, Official California Detailing. And we fly Jamie Gonzalez in also from Salt Lake City, who is just a champion. We're going to be doing this class every quarter. We just had one last weekend. Fantastic class. And what I really like about the team that we put together for this class specifically is you've got Dustin Wharton. He bought my business about 9 years ago, and he's just really blown it up, made it so much bigger than it was, and it's really neat because he still has some of the customers that I had from 20 years ago, and I still get to kind of live vicariously on that side of the world through him, and I get to go up to his shop and everything. But he is really big on the retail side of the world. So he's just really slamming it on the retail side. Did close to $750,000 in sales with 4 employees last year. And he's hunting down that that elusive $1 million that comes. And then we have Jamie Gonzalez. Now Jamie, he specializes in wholesale work. So he's got 12 employees, a couple shops. He did $2.7 million in sales last year. They have paint booths. They do a lot of paint touch-up stuff. So with those two guys who are active in the detail world currently with their businesses, they're incredible resources to have come and do these trainings with me. And then me, I guess I'm the old guy. I started my business in 2004, grew it, sold it, went over to work for the other side. Now I'm one of the minority partners here at Owner's Pride Car Care Products, and absolutely love what I get to do. We sell products, of course, detailing products for both DIY type of people. If you're going to be, if you're somebody watching this and you have a hot rod or you have your own car that you like to wash, something special, we have everything that you need, including the tips and tricks and advice on how to do it. We can do all of that. Speaking of that, at Official California Detailing here in San Diego, Dustin and I are also firing off a series of wash clinics for retail customers. So one of his connections is the Corvette Owners Club, and we're doing that on March 1st is the first one. But we're going to be approaching a lot of car clubs, classic cars, fancy, new European cars, American cars, whatever. And if you are in a car club, and this kind of goes to the details side. I mean, it's still Owner's Pride as well because we're talking about using the Owner's Pride products. But in the details, that's all about car culture. So if you have a car club and you're interested in having a wash clinic where we can go over how to professionally wash your car, even in your own garage. Heck, I don't even pull this one out of the garage to wash it. I use Eco Wash, and it's super duper efficient, friendly. This car looks very good. You can probably tell that it's pretty darn shiny as well. So those are going to fire off. And like I say, so these are going to be quarterly. We just started a new page for this, for these trainings. I'm going to flip over here and go to this page. Let's see. Hopefully this is going to work. So she's right here. And this is the Detailing Authority Academy. And you can see here it has good old Dustin Wharton, me, Dan Williams, and Jamie Gonzalez. So be on the lookout for these classes to be happening on a regular quarterly basis. We will have the new class up really soon. And it's all about making sure that you get what you want out of the class and helping you grow your business or just really take care of your own car really well. And then on the side note, this falls like into that category as well. Everything that we're doing fits together, right? It's all about the world of detailing. And just out of curiosity, whoever is out there watching me, you can say hello, you can say something in the comments, and it does make it more entertaining. Usually I have Damon on here with me, but I'm solo today because, again, he is having a grandbaby. So this is Fix This Next. This is what I am certified in as a business coach. I absolutely think that anybody, you can pick up this book and read it yourself and understand it. As a matter of fact, if we're going to work together and on your business, I think it's a fantastic idea to read this so you know exactly what we're doing. And you might say, hey, well, if I pick up the book and I read it, why do I even need somebody? Well, that's where, the experience and of growing a business and selling a business and working with detailers for the past 15 years on the other side as a trainer and an educator goes. So pick this up, read it, listen to it on Audible. Then you can go to my website, d8nnwilliams.com. You can take your free business assessment, absolutely no obligation. It will tell you what your company's most vital need is and where you should be focusing your energy. So if you want to work on it with me, that's A-okay. If you want to work on it solo, that's absolutely A-okay also. So kind of what it does, I'll just give a little brief explanation here. This is the business priority pyramid, or business hierarchy of needs. I'm sorry, there was a little lawsuit and we couldn't say that. This is the business hierarchy of needs. And it's based off of the Maslow pyramid, right? And in the bottom, you have sales. That's like the food and the water and the oxygen for your business. If you don't have sales coming in, well, then you've got absolutely nothing. On top of that, you have profit. You might be selling stuff, but if you're not making any money, that's not sustainable. On top of that, you have order. Once you get there and you start making some money, you have to make sure that you have order. It's hard to scale if you don't have order in your business. Then you can create a transformation up here with the impact. And then the very top of the pyramid, of course, is legacy. Some of the guys that were at the training class this weekend, that was kind of their idea of what they wanted to do with the business, was to build a legacy that they could pass on to other family members and keep that business going. And I really say, from Dustin buying my business for me 9 years ago, it has created my business into a legacy. And I cannot tell you how incredibly happy it makes me to see him still growing that business, especially when we were at the training class and Herb Morgan, who is one of my Theta Chi fraternity brothers, actually came in there with his Corvette while we were in the training class. So it was really, really neat to see him. And again, just really cool to see it just keep rolling on. So if you want to work with me, I say absolutely go ahead and read this, because this is the methodology that we're going to use. Then go to danwilliams.com, d8nnwilliams.com. Take your free business assessment. Whether you work with me or not, you're going to know what you need to be working on. So what we say is most business owners' biggest problem is they don't know what their biggest problem is. So they just run around in circles trying to put out fires left and right and don't get anywhere. They fall into what's called a survival trap. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. You want to thrive, not just survive. So the benefits of attending these classes, and I would love to get some opinion on this, because we usually are doing 2-day training classes. Everybody comes in on a Friday. We hang out on Friday night, maybe go out to dinner. We went to a hockey game this time, which was super fun. It was Ricky Bordeaux, Jamie Gonzalez's first hockey game, and they had a good time. But then we have our class on Saturday, and that's typically going to be from like 9 to 5. And it's a fire hose of information. You're just getting blasted with information the whole time. So when you're a newer detailer, what I kind of realize is they said that they were kind of tired by the end of it, because we were just throwing so darn much information at them. So usually we're doing a 2-day class. For those of you guys out there who do training classes, who have been in training classes, let me know in the comments, please. Do you prefer a really just extended, maybe 8 or 10 hour 1-day class that's going to eat up less of your time, maybe save you from having that extra hotel room, and you can get back, fly back on a Sunday or on a Saturday night? Or do you like the 2-day format where we do a Saturday all-day class and a Sunday? Usually on the Sunday classes, we kick off, at 9 o'clock in the morning, but we will finish everything up a little bit earlier, and we'll be, we'll be out of there at 2, 3 o'clock. Kind of, we have a few more things that we want to hit, loose ends, a couple more points, and then we're out of there. Everybody's, kind of. One of the reasons for asking about having it as a 1-day class instead is some of the people try to, schedule, maybe the flight is the better price to get out of there earlier, or they just need to get back home. So Sunday gets a little bit disruptive. I think what we want to do is make this a 1-day class and really just maximize the heck out of this 1 day. And we've got it in a pretty darn good order. We work off of a really tight outline for the class. You get, not only you learn new tips and tricks, I mean, gosh, as the trainers, we even learn stuff every single time we do one of these. It's just really neat to get in there with the new guys. The wash clinics are coming up. Do you guys do a wash clinic for any of if you're a detailer out there who is looking at this, are you actively doing any wash clinics for car clubs or anybody, for that matter? Do you have detail training classes? You can let me know in those comments, or not, and I will just have to sit here and keep a talking to myself. I know there's people out there watching though. So, hey, let's go. So one of the things that I want to do today is, in the coaching stuff that I do, one of the free thing that you can do, and I think that it's still underutilized, and if you see me online, then you probably cannot get away from me, and that is short videos. Short videos and reels, we know that everybody has a super short attention span, and because of that, short videos are a really great way to get your message out there. However, you got to think of these short videos kind of like you want to, in the short attention span that people have, you got to do something where you show a problem or you show something kind of spectacular that's a hook to get them in. And then after you do that, you want to show a solution to the problem or a reason, and that makes you the authority. So I tell everybody, my recipe is problem, solution, and then authority. If you do something that's kind of sensational, that's, really makes people like, whoo, kind of surprised too, that's good because that'll bring it in. Think of the people who are catching the car hood on fire or, doing some crazy thing like that. And we got Michael Spradow on here, hey, from Wisconsin. I think he's going to be attending maybe our next training class that we have out here, as we were kind of going back and forth on that earlier. And that's really cool. He is a 300ZX or probably a 380ZX guy. He's got a yellow one, and he's always on there. And then I have my buddy who is a soldier in Ukraine, who is on the live too right now. What is going on, sir? More power to you. I hope you're out there getting those dirty invaders. We'll just leave it at that. So back to what to the short videos. What I want to do is I want to share a screen, and I'm going to go on here, and I'm just going to show you how I do a short video, how I go on and make my short videos. I use a program called Queso. It's Queso.ai. And as we go through this, I'm going to basically take a video out of my photos and drop it into Queso, and well, you know what? Let me just go over to that page and show you, because I can talk about it, and instead of just running my mouth, I can show you, and that would probably make a bit more sense. And I think that's kind of the hot point of this live, because there's still so many guys out there who are not doing it. And I also think that AI, I'm shocked and amazed when me as a 55-year-old dude is using AI to, make my social media posts and help write emails and organize, training outlines and everything. And I talked to some of the guys who are younger who I really, really thought would be way more hip than me, and they're still not using it. So anybody out there who has not yet implemented AI, like some chat GPT, into their business, that's a whole nother topic. I would love to walk through kind of some of the stuff that I do that I use it for. It's amazing. It's a game changer. It makes you efficient, and I cannot say enough about it. And we'll even talk about that. So I'm going to flip over here to, not to this page, but to this page. Okay, and this is my Queso.ai. So I'll kind of move this over. I'm not sure if you guys can see my little screen that's on here as well, or if that is just what I'm seeing. So anyway, down here is where your credits are. And this thing all works on a credit system. Over here is what you can use to generate AI clips. So you can take a long form video and just drop it right into this, and it'll chop it up into small videos. It's pretty amazing how that works. So if I were to click over here and just say, grab something from one of our training classes. Here, this one is 24 minutes long, so let's just kind of drop that in there. Of course, it says it's not going to work because that would just make it too darn easy if that were the case. So let me see here. Just going to go to movies, and I've already done this one video here, but maybe this will drop in here. Oops, it's madness over here, my friends. Okay, so you just drop that in like that. And after you drop it in, you can see this is a 10-minute video, and you can say generate clips. It also has a program in here called Cut Magic, and that'll go through there for you and cut out little ums and uhs and dead spots and mash everything together. It's just crazy how it all works. So you hit generate, and it starts to go. And we'll, once this flips over, then I'll show you a few of the other things, and then we'll just go in here and we'll actually make a video. So you can now use this thing to create AI videos, and they have a feature where you can use B-roll on here, and there's a ton of B-roll, but they have not figured out how to make it so you can edit that B-roll. And once they do that, off and running. So if you were to say, like, you can pick out any of these influencers.
Hey there.
Right? So I'll just pick off this guy right here. And say you want to make a script, you can say like owner's pride ceramic coating is like a safety net for your car's appearance. Spend less time washing and worrying, and more time doing the things you love. Okay? And you can just hit generate script, and it'll generate a script for you. And then you can just say generate video. Now it's going to make this AI fella say that. You can go in here afterwards and edit it, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. It's going to be really cool. Okay, so say you just want to generate captions. So you have a little tiny video. You've already made a short. Perhaps you edited it in your iMovie or whatever you use to edit your videos. And then you can just drop that one into here, and it will add the subtitles for you. And you can pick out what kind you want to use and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go back on right here. Then we have create an AI video. This one is something that they haven't really finished yet. I don't understand these, but supposedly you're going to be able to just jam a script in here and it will make a video for you. And that is crazy. Crazy, crazy. AI video tools. This one here you can use to put your video in, and you can edit the video. I'm really comfortable doing all my editing in iMovie, so that's where I do all that. Over here we have carousels. I've not really wrapped my head fully around this carousel part of the of this, but you can, essentially put in a few words or sentences, and then say create a carousel, and it has these things with words on them and they flip through. I've made a few of them and shared them. I guess they're a big deal on Instagram. There's never been one that's caught my attention and made me really kind of pay attention to it. So that is what it is. This one right here, generate written content from your videos. So now you can take your videos and put them in here. You can generate blogs, get SEO, show notes, all kinds of stuff. This one is something they're still working on, and it will be where you can put in the information and it will make an entire marketing campaign for you. It's going to be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so let me switch back over here to see where we're going here. Who's on here with me? Okay, maybe I got used to. Just wanted to make sure because I couldn't even tell if anybody was on here anymore. I'm going back in, and we're just gonna get down here and make a video. So here is one of the carousels that I just kind of made, and I took a script that we used from one of the podcast things that we did, and it just kind of it produces it for you. Has anybody do you guys use these? Do you see these online? I've still not wrapped my head around it, but I keep being told that these are a really big deal. So you can download these and put them up, and if you use the code the details, you get 10% off at ownerspride.com. I always want to have a call to action on there for sure. So let's just go right in here while we're kind of waiting. No, I'll do one more. Here was one from the AI influencer. Hopefully you guys can hear this when I'm playing it. It's in my headphones, but you can have it on this or you can put it into landscape form. And I think that like this with B-roll laid over it would just be really pretty darn cool.
What if I told you that your car could look brand new every day without the endless washing and worrying? Introducing Owner's Pride ceramic coating, your vehicle's ultimate safety net. Imagine a protective layer that shields your car from dirt, grime, and those pesky UV rays. No more spending hours scrubbing away at stubborn stains or worrying about fading paint. With this revolutionary coating, you can simply rinse and watch the dirt slide right off. It's like giving your car a superpower. Spend less time cleaning and more time enjoying life. Picture this, a weekend road trip, the wind in your hair, and your car shining like it just rolled off the showroom floor. That's the freedom Owner's Pride offer.
Right? So that is pretty darn cool. And especially if you were to, throw some B-roll in there, you hit edit right here. Let me scooch this down over here. And you go into your B-roll, so it has videos, and you can say, like, oops, this. You can say like, shiny car. And then it'll give you all these little B-roll clips, and you can add these B-roll into this video. That's going to be really, really cool. Really cool when they figure out how to make it work. So so what I want to do now, you can see I make my short videos. I make them in here. This was from yesterday. I take our live videos that Damon and I do, and I put him into here, and it just chops them up for me. We'll take an example of that. So if you look at these are all the shorts. It took our hour-long show and it cut us 24 short videos. Also, if you go over to chapters, it gives you these ones that are, I find these to be really effective in the interviews that I do for the Details podcast, where, I'm asking a question to somebody and then they have a long time to answer the question on a screen that's just them. And so these are like, anywhere from like, say, 3 to 10 minute videos of just a piece of your podcast. And you can have these with or without the words on them. It's pretty cool. Let's go down here to, this is from the training that Dustin and I did a couple weeks ago. And let's go ahead and just make a short, because I need to do that today anyway. So you can see all of these. It made 6 of them. This was just like maybe a 10-minute clip that I put in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit edit. And when you're here, it's on a landscape. So this you can move around. And if we come down here, this is where we can put little arrows. We can drop a pin anywhere and change the view. So for example, I shall show you. Also, I'm going to come up here. Because this is for owner's pride, I'm going to make all of my letters one color, so they're going to all be white and black. Sorry, it matches our logo.
Knowing what they're doing without burning your paint, doing a bad decon wash. Like if you don't do that good decon wash, your whole shit is set up for failure.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice and clean and smooth
Exactly.
to start with.
And so if you don't have someone that does that for you as your installer, as your detailer, let alone every single point, let alone problem solving of like, why my coatings doing this, why the water spots are here, like that's what we really think about meticulously. But then you were saying,
Okay, so he's moving out of the screen right there. So we would want to drop a pin right here and then scoot this video over so he's still in the picture.
like on the detailer side of things, like if you look at the spectrum of like,
You could also drop another pin in here and change the view once again to make it like, larger like this.
you're like $1,500 in pressure washer.
So I'm not really going through here and so much picking out something that's incredible. And sometimes you will have to go in and kind of adjust what they're saying. But what I wanted to do was show you how this thing is going to move, right? So he's talking. It's going to change view here
But then you were saying too, like
to the next one, and then we'll make it larger here.
Spectrum of like, you're like $1,500 in pressure washer.
Okay, and just because it's probably not entirely entertaining for me to go through and do and pick something out, because that's where you got to make sure that it sounds great. I'm just going to go ahead and produce this one so we can see it. So we'd go over here to subtitles, and you always want to make sure that everything is spelled correct. So usually I would watch it and just kind of watch as you go through, make sure everything is spelled correct and it's doing what you want. If you want to drop your logo in there or something, like if I wanted to have a little OP logo, you could just hit right there, drag it down to the side. You can shrink them to be woo, smaller, or you can just get it right out of there. It doesn't even need to be in there. Get rid of it. You say your closed captions. Now you can also choose all kinds of different lettering and colors and outlines. You can add text to it if you want. So if you wanted to say edit Dustin, you can add that up there. You can get rid of it, just pull it right off of there. And it's about that easy. So you got your cut magic right here. That's where you can change the view and change the cameras. This is where you can choose which stock template you want to use. I have my saved ones that I use over here for the details. You have your closed captions. You have the elements. This is where you can put a progress bar. You can see down here on the bottom, if you wanted it to be thicker, you could make it thicker. You could change the color if you wanted it to be red, or however you wanted to do that. And at that point, you just come right over here and you hit download, 1080, and confirm. But wait, there's more. You can also go to publish and schedule. So if you go down here to publish and schedule, you can add all of your social media places that you want the video to get posted to. And then you come down here and you can say, hey, for Facebook, write me a description for the video. And it'll just do it for you. Always good to read through there. Make sure that it's correct. You can upload a thumbnail if you wanted to have a thumbnail for it. You can do the same thing for your Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And it writes them, to be where they're supposed to be. And then you can hit publish now, or you can hit schedule, and you can add them onto a scheduler and send them out when you want. Currently, I've not been using that because I'm sharing for 2 different podcasts and multiple pages, and I really need to sit down and dial that part in. Okay, let's go back over here see if anybody's even here. Hey, wait, we still do have some people. Is anybody asking any question about this? I need to try this. I like the subtitles it does. The editor on Instagram isn't great, but it's been working. So there's even more stuff that this program does, and I'll jump back in here and show you. I was curious if anybody was even hanging out with me, to tell you the truth. This saves me so much time. So much time. So you have all your projects in here. All of your downloads that are finished videos are going to show up over here, and it holds on to them for you. You can see we make a lot. You've got a planner over here. So I have not harnessed this piece yet, but I know that I have to. What I want to do is kind of switch, so I do just one day where I put my entire week of videos so they're ready to be posted, and it doesn't have to take any more of my time. They also have this AI analytics deal, and this is pretty darn cool, where you can see, you know, who they are. I don't even know what this is for, to tell you the truth, because I haven't messed with it yet. But this will give you your analytics. This thing, you know, of course, there's always stuff that we have to do. We can get messages in here. Yes. Okay, let's see now if... Here's the video. So generally what I would do at this point is I'm going to come up here and grab this video. Well, I'm not sure how you do that on this. I'm just going to move this over here and put this one up here, come right here, and then pull this video over to there. Okay. Then, let's see what we got.
What they're doing without burning your paint, doing a bad decon wash. If you don't do that good decon wash, your whole shit is set up for failure.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice and clean and smooth.
Exactly.
Again, we don't really have a, you know, incredible message in here, so you got to kind of go through and maybe adjust the length of how long it is or where you're getting it from.
That's what we really think about.
But man, I tell you what, this saves so much time. It is called Queso.com. Again, that's Queso.ai, not .com. I made that up and I was incorrect. So that's how I get all of these darn videos out all the time. I am on Queso.com. And again, if you go on there, my affiliate link for this page is the details. And they also have a free version, I believe, so you can try it out. It'll probably have a watermark on it or something with the free version. But there we have it. There we have it. Thoughts, concerns? Hey, what's up, Steve? And I am representing Indiana all the way today. Indianapolis 500, and of course, Theta Chi until I die. Oh, and Steve, I'd love to get you onto an interview for the Details podcast. Are you going to make me come back out there? I've even tossed around the idea of moving back to Indiana. Might be some really cool opportunities. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, so just to kind of recap here. Unless anybody's asking me questions, that's really a, you know, how we do it. I can go through and make another video. I don't know if that's really entertaining for everybody to watch. If anybody does get Queso.ai, and I would be more than happy to walk you through how to make some videos and stuff. We can absolutely do that. Again, keep an eye out on our new page for the detail training classes. If you are a car club, we're also doing a thing with Owner's Pride products where we're helping sponsor some car wash clinics. So car clubs, you know, maybe you guys are into classic cars, show cars, fancy cars, just people take care of their own cars. They're surprisingly easier than you would think and harder than you would think all at the same time. So there's just, you know, some tips and tricks that we can help you out with that are going to make your keeping that car clean a lot easier. And I will say, for the people who live in places where it is cold and snowy, we have a product called Spotless that is going to be your friend. Decon X and Spotless. So if you've got all that mag chloride on the road, and I've heard that even in the places where maybe it's not as snowy this year, or it hasn't been up till now, they still are putting a lot of mag chloride on the road in some of these cities because they have to use an allotted amount, so they're approved for X amount during the following year. So they have to be putting salt on the road even if it doesn't necessarily need it, which means you got more gunk flying up onto your paint, and that really tells me it's probably more important that you're putting some ceramic coating on there. So I guess we'll just kind of touch on that. This is the OPX Light. I don't know if it's focused. This is our self-healing DIY ceramic coating. You can do this yourself. I'd be more than happy to walk anybody through how to install this. As a matter of fact, you know what? We can do that right now. I think I can show you guys how to put on some ceramic coating right now. I seem to have a car that is right here beside me. I got a microfiber towel. Let's see, let me grab a couple more here. Get some dust off of here. Installing a ceramic coating is really not that difficult for the coating itself. At Owner's Pride, we do have like warranted ceramic coatings, and those are only through our professional installers because we're actually putting a warranty behind it. With an insurance company, an aggregate tied to it, it follows all the rules of the Magnuson-Moss Act of 1975, and the Federal Trade Commission, which is who regulates warranty sales in the United States. There's you know, and I'm not to throw shade. I think that it's best business to talk about what you have that is stellar and not talk bad about your competition. But after I show you how to install some ceramic coating, I want to kind of go over what a real compliant legal warranty looks like, just so you guys can do your own comparison out there. And I think that you will be very, very surprised, because I think most people don't understand or know what I'm about to lay on you guys. So if I come over here, I'm going to grab, this is an applicator pad that we use for putting on our ceramic coating. Again, why would you want to have a professional do your ceramic coating? It's not, this part that I'm about to show you is how the ceramic coatings from Owner's Pride go on. We've got a solvent-based coating, and we've got a thicker, more viscous coating that's a self-healing coating. This is going to be the Owner's Pride OPX Light, which is a self-healing coating. If you have a hot rod or a classic car or a show car, this is probably the best product for you. Like, and I tell the same story. If you've followed me at all, you probably heard me talk about this before. I've had this car for 13 years probably, and it was only a year and a half ago that I put a ceramic coating on it, because for what I do in the world, I don't work on the engine. Gremlin Eddie, or Eddie Bryan, is who does all of the work on this engine. If I work on the engine, I can take it apart, but I cannot put it back together. It's just not my skill set. But I can make stuff really, really shiny and glossy. So I would come out every time, and I go to probably in the spring and summertime, a car show or a car cruise once a week, maybe every other week if we got a lot of stuff going on. But I really like to hit the La Mesa one and the El Cajon one on the afternoons. And Angel and I walk around, and we have our own trophies, and we award somebody a trophy and do an interview with them. It's really fun, and that's all through the Details podcast. But here we go. So this coating, the hard part again is getting the car prepped. To properly get a car prepped to put a ceramic coating on it, you're going to want to wash that car with Eco Wash, is what I prefer, or car wash soap, but Eco Wash. And yes, you definitely, the self-healing is, you think of how that yellow is going to just pop. You're probably going to get lawsuits against you. This is for Michael. He has a 370ZX. It's his baby, and he's going to put some of some of the self-healing, the OPX on there. And that is what I have on here. So anyway, it's all about the prep work. When you're getting a ceramic coating, it's all about that prep work. You have to wash the car with either car wash soap or Eco Wash. I prefer Eco Wash. We very much established that. Then you're going to want to do a step with an iron oxide remover. At Owner's Pride, we have Decon X, and it stinks like feets and farts and money. But what it is, it's a thiol-based product, and it attacks the ferrous oxides. So like fallout that's on your car, brake dust that's from the brake calipers and brake pads smashing into the rotor and making all that dust. After you do that part with clay, so you're shearing everything off and cleaning the surface, you use Spotless, which is our mineral deposit remover. You might not even see minerals sitting on the surface of your car. A lot of times you take a car and you wash it, and then you take a towel and you dry it off, and that's it. When you wipe that towel over the surface, there's a minuscule amount of water that sits on the surface. So even though you're done, there's still water on there. Can't see it, but those mineral deposits from that hard water can impede the hydrophobics of your car, and everybody likes the hydrophobics on their car. That's like the big part that you can kind of see. And funny enough, that's really not what a ceramic coating is all about. Generally speaking, if you polish a car and you have that paint all the way clean and there's nothing on it, not any wax or anything, you use paint prep and it's just completely clean, it's going to be hydrophobic also. So lots of things can sit on top of your coating, hard water, some of that mag chloride stuff, and just think for a really high contact point, high contact angle for that water drop to really bead up and sit super tight, that surface has to be hydrophobic and really clean and flat. Okay, after you do that part, if you have anything on the car that's like oily or tar, something from the road that kicked up, you want to use some OP Clean and take that off. And at that point, the car is ready to polish. Now, this is a big debate in the detailing world. And some people are like, hey, what if I have a customer who they think their paint looks fine and they just want some coating put on there? And I guess, as long as you explain to your customer, I mean, you're here to give the customer what they want. Well, what makes me a little nervous when we have a warranted coating and you don't prep that surface properly is that the coating doesn't really have a chance to make that chemical cross-link to the substrate, and it may not work as good as if you go through the steps and properly do it. And again, that's why it's good to go to a professional detailer, or if you have, if you go through the steps yourself. And at Owner's Pride, we will walk you through any of it. I would be more than happy to jump onto a video just like this. If you have a camera too, we can split the screen and we can, I've done this many times for trainings and stuff. So we can work together on that. Okay, at that point, you're ready to polish the car. At Owner's Pride, we have a compound. It's a one-step product, so you would basically put your compound on there. I use a maroon pad. You can get most cars done in one step. It's going to shave a little bit off the top, make the surface super clean. We're going to take that off with a little bit of Eco Wash. Then we're going to use some paint prep. Douse the car in paint prep. It's a very high % alcohol with a catalyst in there that aids in the cross-linking. So those steps that I just mentioned, with including the polishing, that's what takes all of the time in the ceramic coating. That's the part that you're spending, even with a couple of employees doing it, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to get to that point. Some cars, if you're doing more steps of polishing than a one step, you could spend 8 or 10 hours just polishing the car. But for goodness sakes, if you're somebody who's a retail customer and you expect somebody to spend that much time polishing your car, just know that you have to make sure that they have to make sure they're hitting their hourly rate, or they're just doing charity work for you. And that's really where it gets super expensive. Okay, so say we've done all of that. We've done the paint prep. We've just got a clean, dry surface. Now, we're ready to put on some ceramic coating. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the OPX Light, our self-healing ceramic coating for DIY people, and I like to put it along this edge right here. It's always a good idea to do this in a ventilated area, because this is kind of strong. My garage door is completely open in front of me right here. And Probably wear gloves if you're going to be getting it on your hands. I'm just doing a little tiny demo, so I'm not wearing any gloves. Let's not roast me for it. Now you just mop it onto the surface. Up and or sideways like that, and then I kind of cross hatch like this to assure that I've got everything covered. Okay. So I'm going to grab the camera now, and we're going to go on a little field trip. Come on, let's go. And we're going to bring this in here. Unplug. And I'm going to come right up in here so you can see this. You might have to get it a little bit from the side. You see how it's kind of starting to break up a little bit. It's not a completely flat surface anymore. The OPX and the OPX Lite, as they cross-link onto the paint, it breaks up into kind of little chunks. And we can see, I'll show you in just a minute, the difference between the OP solvent-based coating, and it'll make sense. But this is just kind of chunkier, bigger pieces. Maybe it looks clearer up here. There we go. And it takes about a minute, maybe a couple minutes. And kind of basically what you're trying to do here is get it so it's even and all broken up. And when it does that, we're just going to take our low nap towel and wipe over the surface. This coating, it's kind of viscous and thick, and it feels like really grabby when I first wipe it. Like it's about the consistency of maple syrup. And after you wipe it with your low nap towel, you just follow with your fluffy towel. And you don't have to push real hard. You're just kind of buffing over it, making sure that you don't have any high spots. And we'll talk about high spots here in a minute. And that's all you do. That's it. So the applying of the coating is pretty darn easy. It's all of that prep work that you have to do. And the reason that we have the warranted ones that you definitely would want to have a professional do for you is because we want to make sure if we're putting a warranty behind one of these coatings that all of the steps have done so the coating will last. Because we truly do honor our warranty. You can call from any state in the United States. You can call a 1-800 number. Even if there's not an Owner's Pride installer around, we will find someone to fix your problem. Okay? So that is the OPX. And then our other coatings, like what would be relevant to anybody out there who is a DIY type of person, maybe from the details who's watching this, has their own car and wants to coat it. We also have OP Pro. It's a little bit lighter. It's going to be more of kind of your 1 to 2 year coating, and we'll say that the OPX Lite will be like a 3-year coating. So this one is, the liquid is a lot thinner. I don't know if I can visualize that here. If we can see through, it's darker, so you can't really see through. This is thicker like a maple syrup. This one is much thinner, and you can see that it's very thin. The solvent-based coating is a little bit of a different technology. This is where we really just say lay it wet and let it sweat. I gotta find a spot on here that is hasn't been used. I've been doing a lot of demos on here. And this one, the little cap came out, so I'm just gonna pour a little on here. Give you guys a show of the OP Pro and our 3, 5, and 7 year coatings. This is how they go. So again, you did all of those steps that we did up front to get the surface ready. Now we lay a wet layer of coating onto the panel. And again, I like to cross hatch like that. And I think I have a little piece of dried up stuff in here. So now let's go on another field trip. So we're gonna come up here and we're gonna take another look. This surface, it all went on completely wet. And this one more so than the other that breaks up into kind of chunks, this is gonna just break into little tiny sweat beads. We call them micro beads. And it takes about a minute for it to happen. It's kind of starting to go right now. Let's see. It's really hard to see in the light. Let's see. There we go. Okay, you see like right in this area right here, you can see where it's really starting to break up into like little tiny beads. Yeah. So, I can see it's so clear where I am, right here. Okay, so once that does that, then we're ready to go ahead and wipe it. Again, I like to use a low nap towel on my initial wipe, and I'll explain kind of what's happened here. You put it on, and there's a silicone slurry that's in a solvent carrier, and that goes onto the surface of the car. When you put this on, there's a silicon carbide chemical cross-link reaction. The silicon carbide is actually the chemical reaction that happens for the silicone slurry as it cross-links, basically attaches itself and becomes part of the clear coat. So it's not like a wax, where a wax is a temporary thing that's sitting on top of your clear coat and it just kind of washes off and melts out or whatever. It actually becomes part of it. So it's permanent. And the only way that these ceramic coatings are removable is through abrasion. So as long as you don't polish the car, it's not going to go anywhere. So we've had this on there plenty of time now. I'm going to try one more little look in here. There you go. There's the sweat beads. It was completely wet and even when I started, and now it has sweat beads. And the solvent-based coating is very forgiving too. If you let it sit on there a little bit extra, you don't really get in trouble. Now, you just wipe right over all of that. And you take off the most part with your low nap towel. And again, I grab a high nap towel and I just wipe right over. And I'll tell you what, the front fender on the driver's side and the back fender on the driver's side of this 41 Chevy Special Deluxe Coupe are probably about an inch thicker than the rest of the paint because I do a lot of demos on that exact spot. Okay, so let's come back over here. And let me catch up on notes from people. Anybody has any questions? Absolutely. It's way more fun when I'm answering questions or talking to somebody than by myself. But I'm pretty flexible on all that too. Okay. So we got Gage on here from GM Detailing. Dan's so nice, they handed me 5 times apparently. Steve Kistner, he is one of my fraternity brothers from Indiana State. He says, send you a message. Got 60 events scheduled this year. Holy macaroni. So for those guys who are in Indianapolis, Steve Kistner is one of my fraternity brothers, and he is very involved in the classic car scene. And very, very, very cool. I've been hounding him to give me an interview for a long time. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Really fun indeed. Then we get down here. Michael asks what towels I recommend. For ceramic coatings, these are the 2 towels that I like. This one comes in your kit with any of our ceramic coatings. And this is, I believe, like a 460 GSM. That's fluffy Korean. Well, we call it fluffy Korean. And if anybody wants any of these ceramic coatings, microfiber towels, I do have a connection to cases of microfiber towels, and we blow prices out of the water. We got a really good deal. Just contact me direct, and I'll sync you up with Angel, and she takes care of all the towel sales for SoCal Detail Supply, another business that I've owned since 2007. Still have it. We just sell microfiber towels. I don't really even go crazy promoting it or anything. It's just more of a word of mouth. Okay, so I think our last thing I really kind of want to go through here with you guys is I do want to explain this warranty. We recently just put out a survey to all of our Owner's Pride installers, and I will announce the winner tomorrow on Friday of who got the free bottle of ceramic coating for filling out their survey. And, we do this because we really want to get the temperature of our installers, our bread and butter customer base, and make sure that we're serving you guys as best we can. And one of the biggest things that our installers were asking us for, or said that they would really like to see, is more information about our warranties. And when we came out, just to kind of give a background, when I was at my last company, the CEO of that company, he wanted to have an F&I program for paint and fab at dealerships. And I smelled money from that, thinking that was going to be fantastic. And it absolutely should have been. We'll just leave that at that. So I injected myself into that world. I started going to the trade shows. I had no connections and no knowledge. What I would do is I would sit at the trade shows and I'd watch the speakers who were on stage. And I would take notes of the people who were asking the questions of the speakers on stage. And then in between the shows, I'd go up to those people, bring up whatever question they had and say, that was a great point you made, blah, 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 blah. My name is Dan Williams from blah, 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 blah. And it worked out good. We made a whole program. I got the short end of the stick on that deal because I never got paid for it. So lied to and robbed, but that's a whole nother story. But when I came over to Owner's Pride, Damon Gray and myself had been working dealership programs together. Same with Jamie Gonzalez. That's actually how I met him. And the reason that I came over to this company was he said, hey, we want to do a program for detailers where they can sell compliant warranties, like these real warranties. And I was like, no way. Nobody else in the industry does this. This is a huge marketing advantage. I can sell the heck out of this. So, we put a great product line together to back it up, and we've, adjusted that and made some moves. And, as you do in business, you have to pivot here and there and make improvements and make things better. And gosh, launched the company 3 weeks before COVID shut the world down, and we've just had exponential growth ever since. So, fantastic. But here it is. I'm going to show you what a real warranty looks like. And other people may say that they have a warranty. But if they do not have some of the parts that I'm going to tell you, then it's not a real compliant written express warranty. Okay. So the top piece of our warranty card looks like a postcard. And this piece, our detailer is just going to ask you for some information or have you fill out this information so they can put that into a portal. When they put that information into a portal, what happens is it pushes that information forward to Carfax on a monthly basis. We do a batch, and all of these warranties get listed on Carfax. So if you are going to go sell your car and somebody pulls it up on Carfax, they're going to see that you put a ceramic coating on there and that it had a warranty. They're automatically going to know that you cared more for that car than the person who doesn't bother to, because it's a little bit pricey, but it really does. It's impervious to acids and enzymes and bug guts and UV fade. It even covers things like paint overspray. That's absolutely no fault of a ceramic coating if some jackass is spraying spray paint down the street and it's all flying onto your car, but that's absolutely covered. And everything that we say we cover, we 100% cover because it's a written express warranty. So, okay. Top part is just like a postcard, and that part, you take that off and you retain that so you can put the information into the portal. Now let's look at what this warranty looks like. So the first thing you have up here, and I wish I could read it and show it all at the same time, but I can't. So it says, upon application of these products to your vehicle, we guarantee the performance of these products as described for a period of 5 years from the date of purchase. Every privately owned non-commercial car or light truck is eligible regardless of age. So our exterior warranties for our 3, 5, 7, and 9-year coatings, they have no age limitations on the exterior of the car. You could bring in, I always say, you could have a 1932 Duesenberg, and if that paint looks good, we'll put a warranty on it. The interior product that we have, which we'll get to here in a minute, is only for cars up to 3 years old, because when you're sitting in the cockpit of a car every day and driving and eating and picking your nose and doing whatever the heck else you guys do in your cars, that those materials just become more effective. Okay. Owner's Pride Environmental Paint Protection Product. If the Owner's Pride Paint Protection product fails to protect the vehicle's paint to which it's been applied from permanent damage from weather-induced fading, weather-induced chalking, weather-induced loss of gloss, acid rain, bird waste, tree sap, insect damage, including love bugs for those of you down there in the south, sun's UV rays, de-icing agents and road salt, ocean spray, brake dust, rail dust, paint overspray, and fuel stains. We will, 1, pay to repair the damaged surface using industry standard detailing techniques. 2, pay to reapply product to the surface at no cost to you. Under no circumstances are we going to repaint or replace a panel on a car. It's all super clear. And I mean, it says what is covered. There's no more of like you calling a rep and saying, hey, is this covered? As a matter of fact, you don't even call. This is your customer. It's on them to call. They call a 1-800 number. We'll get there in a second. So this one here was a 5-year warranty, and it says the total of all claims under this warranty is limited to $3,500. The warranty will lapse and no further claims will be paid once $3,500 is claims have been paid on your behalf. That is called an aggregate. Every warranty that is a compliant warranty, that's a real warranty, has an aggregate. It says you can make claims up to X amount. If it doesn't have that, what is it? It's then, who knows? I mean, they could say it's anything. Okay. Claims made after the warranty is expired will be denied. Fair. Even if the damage arose before the date, but you have 60 days to make a claim. So if you have damage on your car, you got 60-day window to make that claim. And you do that by simply calling a 1-800 number. We'll get there in a minute. Claims for damages other than those expressly identified in this warranty will not be honored. So if you tell me that your car has water spots because you shot hard water onto the car and left it on there, that's not covered. But if you have a bird poop and it made a stain on the hood, that is covered. Damage existing at the time the product was applied is not covered. So if you already have something wrong with the car, it's not going to fix it. So that's not covered. And there's a place for you to put that in the portal when you're entering the warranty in. We reserve the right to dispatch an independent vehicle inspection firm, no cost to you, to assess the eligibility. Now that's only going to be if it's a really big claim. You know, we're not going to go through paying somebody, an independent company to go out there unless it's something, you know, you say the entire car has problems everywhere on it. And that just really, honestly, doesn't really happen anyway. Warranty coverage is only available to the original purchaser of the product. This warranty is non-transferable. Repairs completed before the claim has been approved will not be reimbursed. You have to go through the steps. It's a real compliant warranty. You just got to go through the steps. And those steps are your customer calls the 1-800 number and starts the claim process. They're going to be asked for the warranty card and a receipt. Then some pictures and a description of the damage. And then myself or Damon are going to call the detailer who is there, or if it's in a place where there's not an owner's pride installer, we will find somebody else. And we'll discuss what that damage is, what we think it takes to fix that damage. Agree on that, and there you go. Then we're going to send you some money and some product. We only pay for one. So this is the part. If a bird poops right here on this back quarter panel, on this back fender, it's going to get covered one time. We're going to pay to get that thing fixed. But if a bird poops on this same place, on the same panel, it doesn't get covered again. If another incident happens, like the UV fades it out, then that will be covered one time on this panel. One panel per problem per incident covered. Okay? So that's pretty simple. Then there's some limitations on here. Here's the big one. How to make a claim. We have a 1-800 number. And then right down under that, you can see where there's a guarantor for the warranty. And it's owner's pride. We have an insurance company listed on here, Cincinnati Insurance, for these new owner's pride warranties. And then up here, also, this is another thing that you have to have on a warranty, are some state disclosures. I've never seen a one with any of that. That is what a real warranty looks like. This is a legal document. This has you protected just like the paint on your car. If anything goes sideways, You don't get told this is user error. So, anyway, this is the thing that I really, really like about our warranties and everything. And Bill Baker from Australia, how are you doing, mate? Good day. Okay, do we have any other questions or anything else? Because I'm about done. I've ate up another hour of life. I'm going to jump into that QSO myself and push out a few videos. I got a few more phone calls to make. Please do, anybody on here, remember, check out the Detail Mastery Authority Academy. I think that's what it's called. Let me look on here. The Detailing Authority Academy. That's what it's called. That's the new training system that we have. The coaching is going to fall in there. Trainings, detail trainings. I cannot tell you, guys, how excited I am to work with Jamie Gonzalez and Dustin Wharton, a couple of the big detailers in the industry who are doing really big things, and I've worked with them both for a long time, and a super special relationship. So looking forward to more of those coming off. The wash clinics, Queso.ai, Queso.ai is where I make my reels and shorts and all of my video stuff. You can use code THEDETAILS at checkout, and I think you get some kind of a discount. That's my affiliate link. All right, guys. All right. Michael Sperdow, we should jump on a call. We really should. All right, guys. Until next time, you know what to do. Be good to people, for God's sakes. It's a crazy world out there. Just try to be good to somebody. And until next time, stay glossy.